So Jay from Canada, speaking of boot Canada, bud, eh? LOL, why is Reg so triggered? Instead of worrying and getting into his feelings, he needs to go back and work on his music career because that's just whack. Oh, damn. Oh, come on now, Jay from Canada. Why you got to bury his music career? That's not very fair to say that his music's whack. I'm not sure if that, I'm sure some people like it subjectively. And a healthy, righteous Reg album is healthy for the rest of the music business. Jay from Canada. That's not very fair. But Wrestle Purist says WWE has a date booked for the 2300 arena. We covered this on the last show, and then Righteous Reg goes, they don't belong there. Dude, they own ECW. And then he goes, if it ain't called NXT Bingo Hall, they some cowards. Oh, man, these guys are funny. So SRS trying to justify his blatant grifting while being a massive douche. Shout out Machiavelli. So this guy, Hugh Nelson, says, imagine charging people $12.99 about behind-the-scenes stuff of a wrestling show, or is $13.99 because of inflation. Either way, this is karma for that ass. And then Sapp says, I hope you also work for free, but assuming you have a job is bold. And then this guy goes, I guess assuming you know what real work is bold, but that's why you're there defending your daddy, right? I don't know who he was. I don't even know the context of this. Just a funny back and forth, guys. How many $12.99s did it take for you to swallow, or are you a spitter? Oh, God. You what? Here we go. Here's some Chris Jericho, guys. I hope you enjoy. Jesus, Moose Knuckle has more skeletons in his closet than there are at this Aussie show. Dude is now discrediting himself. It's so funny. Read this, dude. This is like Sapp Inception. Do. I need it. I need the sound effect. Wah, wah. You guys know that one? I need that. Sapp quote tweets himself. So he says, sources within AEW and NJPW told Fightful Select they expect protections to be put in place moving forward to prevent talent from immediately jumping to WWE after working AEW New Japan shows after the Steph Vacker signing. And then Sapp goes, one of the most misrepresented stories I've ever covered by far. So he's like fact checking himself and being like, yeah, this was misrepresented. So who misrepresented it, dude? You. It was your tweet. Yes. Another one. We have Ricochet getting mad at, or just having arguments with himself. Like, this is real sicko, guys. Like, this is what people do where they have like a fake argument with a fake person. This is what's happening right here. So Sidney Akeem, the former, what was his name? Reggie. He was also a Scripps in WWE. He posted this clip of him in GCW, and this was wild right here.
Jack doing the same.
Nobody's really able to.
He's taking on Jack Evans. Now, some people might be like, oh, it's just gymnastics. And yeah, I mean, you can't argue that. But just for a minute, admire this dude's athleticism. Crazy. But then watch what Ricochet says about it. Like, why? Why you got to do this? Like, anyways, let's watch this clip.
Jack doing the same.
Nobody's really able to score with anything all that impactful.
Until now.
There you go, that twisting crossbody.
Top rope. Twisting. And
they're getting a lot of climbing in. Look at that moonsault.
Akeem.
He's getting a lot of momentum.
Oh.
Now that's a...
To the apron. Springboard. And
Whoa,
Sidney.
whoa,
Handspring.
whoa.
Oh, final act.
So that's like his finisher. He does like 2 backflips, then hits you with a cutter. So if anyone's like, that's dumb, maybe Sol Ruka does a flip, then hits you with a cutter. You know, it's like she doesn't really need a flip to hit you with it, you know? So it's his thing. So it's not like he's just doing this like, oh, I'm going to hit 2 back. Like he finds clever ways to hit it every time. It's kind of like what he's been doing on the indies. I don't know. I get why it might not be everyone's cup of tea, right? But
cover 2, and that's it.
Ricochet quote tweets it and goes, this sucks. Not one wrestling move was done. Just flip, flip, flip. You suck and can't wrestle. Just gymnastics and Cirque du Soleil. And meanwhile, like, this dude was in Cirque du Soleil. I'm pretty sure. Like Sidney Akeem. Yeah, he was in Cirque du Soleil. So I get it. He's like cracking a joke, but I quote tweeted, I'm like, let it go already, bro. Jesus Christ, like, stop. It's just, I don't know. It's cringe. I don't know what Ricochet's going through, but Bruce Pritchard said this, and I thought this deserved to be in the sicko segment here. He goes, I don't believe Ricky Steamboat could survive in the modern day era of pro wrestling. That's pretty crazy to me. Maybe because he's thinking to himself, like, the personalities need to be larger than life, but dude, he would look like a monster compared to some of these people today. He'd look like a rippling giant, like, just in this picture alone that you see of him, compare that to Garcia. I get he's not the tallest guy, but just no, I think he would totally make it. He'd be unique. It'd be refreshing to see a guy like Ricky Steamboat. That's my opinion. Should AEW re-sign Chris Jericho as a wrestler once his contract expires in 2025? The sickos voted in the AEW fan hub. They said re-sign him, but not as a wrestler. Okay. That's kind of... And then they go, do you think the booking needs to change in AEW? And 59% to 73% voted no. People say Tony Khan's a good matchmaker, which I disagree. Like, anyone's a good matchmaker. Any two wrestlers can have a good match at the right time in the right moment, and some don't. Some don't gel well when they fight each other. Look at Jimmy and Jay. Like, they just didn't gel, and they're twins. They gel as a tag team. But when they fight each other, it's kind of like whatever, I disagree. I don't think Tony's like a good, because booking requires like listening to other people and keeping the storylines consistent with the finishes of the matches and all that. So I don't know. And then knowing like where to book someone. So Big Van Kale says, I generally like what WWE is offering at the moment, but I feel as though the only scenario where you get back the feeling of innovation happens once WWE goes cold again and companies scramble to find the new hot thing to sell to modern audiences. No, you fickle marks. The new hot thing is telling good stories. In the mid-2010s there, it was all about viral flippy clips, and we need someone to take down Big Bad Vince. Now, it's like, yeah, we want to see global superstars on the biggest stage, wrestling become mainstream again, and telling good stories. That's what the new hot thing is. Man, it's such delusion. But Ibu is just like always talking. Yeah, I think industry trends are being set by WWE with no new ideas. Bro.
What?
You guys cried about the bracelet. That was a new idea. Or traceable waves happening anywhere else. You guys are mad that WWE did. So the drone shots and walking through Gorilla aren't new ideas. Those are just things that people were doing before. Or are you just talking out of your ass and are salty and sour and you're coping? Ebu. And so Ulbu, it should not be whatever. And then, yeah, he goes, WWE getting good again was bad for wrestling, right? And then, we read that before, I think, on the show, but it's just funny. He is really hurt by it. More JD stuff we'll get to in a minute. This sicko responds to Raj Giri. So Raj goes, there's wrestling matches all over the place. Are you watching them all? And this guy goes, I follow 31 independent companies, plus AEW, WWE, TNA, New Japan, NXT, and ROH. How about you, Raj Giri? Dude, he's flexing how he follows all these companies. I probably follow more than that. I follow 3,000 people, and I follow any wrestling fed. If you're like, Australian backyard wrestling, I follow you. So, like, dude, that's not even a flex, and, like, that's crazy. Get a bit of a life, my good friend. You know what I mean? That's not a flex. It's just crazy to say that to Raj. So, Pro Wrestling Counselor says there's no such thing as an AEW freakazoid with morals. And this guy posts this. Wow, that was really racist, to SRS saying, Carlito said I got to learn Chinese when Io Sky and Kairi Sane walked off. Right? So this guy goes, wow, that was really racist. But then he gets receipts pulled on him, and he goes, every time that Durant commercial with the Asian lady comes on, I think she wants the D. Okay, well, that's not really racist. LMAO at whatever. I think my youngest child is Asian or something. She keeps trying to cook the family pet. Yeah, that's pretty
okay.
Moose Knuckle. Is that racist? Is that racialist, bro? Let's check in with our resident racialist expert here, Moose Knuckle.
You all right that first one, and then it took a left pretty hard.
Yeah, took a left right there. According to Kirby Hicks, every Asian male or female looks like the dude at the end of Bloodsport. LMFAO. Yeah, way to whoop the Chinamen, Duke. Yeah, kind of racist, bro. Keeping the same energy. Pro Wrestle Counselor posts, how much do you want to bet that this page didn't go to shows, buy merch, and buy the pay-per-views? I mean, they don't even have the website the page is named after. Dirtsheets.net says, see, this is why WWE being good again is horrible for the wrestling business. This is what WWE is doing to AEW, and it's hurting them. What?
What?
WWE being hot helps everyone else. The only people hurting is New Japan, AEW, Ring of Honor, and they're all connected. They're all bros. So think about it for a minute. It's them who hurt themselves. Take accountability. WWE goes, hey, we're going to start telling good stories now. And then you guys are going to get mad about that. It's dumb. If AEW did the same thing, you wouldn't be mad about that. Aubrey Edwards got her own T-shirt with Japanese writing on it, and it's like 8-bit. She loves Japanese wrestling. She's a referee, so of course her in her ref shirt. She's trotting along here on the front. I'm not sure, perhaps taking a gallop through this like fantasy sort of looks like Scott Pilgrim versus the world in that. So yeah, someone send me one.
Oh my.
I don't know. The shirt design's not bad, but it's funny. She's got a shirt. She goes, it's not my job to be a character and all that. Has her own shirt.
I'm not here for me. It's not about what I want.
And not like a Earl Hebner business where he was selling fake shirts.
Yeah, I forgot about that
either. Triple H's thought says, the timeline is more upset about Carlito's ignorance than Drew Gulak's actions and Max Caster's open support of it. We covered it before. Gulak did that thing with Masha Slamovich where he turned his Ronda Rousey thing into an angle, and then Max Caster applauded it. I mean, heel's healing, I guess.
Right.
So Alfred Konuwa dropped this heater. Here's 14 seconds of him recapping Dynamite in a nutshell, and Konuwa makes the sicko segment every time. We're all sickos. You guys know that. Here we go.
Dynamite this past week was a mix of random matches, Shelton Benjamin straight stunting on these hoes at 49 years of age, and the Whitepool Combat Club Crackers staging a show-long insurrection. The only thing missing was a QAnon shaman and on the wall.
Dynamite. Yo, that popped me at the end there. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alfred's just got a way of like piecing everything together, man. His stand-up's really good too.
Delivery.
Me being not hot helps all other guys. Just saying. Yeah, because I'm ugly, it helps all the hot dudes get chicks. Yo, that's a good one, man. Well, speaking of flexible, I put out this tweet. I don't know, guys. I put out this tweet about Ricochet, and it was a fake one. I guess I screen grabbed it. I saw it on Instagram. I saved the picture. I put it on Twitter. People were like, it's fake. And it's where he's like, haha, she's not coming to AEW. There's no way it'd work with literally no bodies on an entire side of the arena. The echo would be too massive to cover up. You can all rest easy. And then this guy responds like, this is the first time an AEW contracted individual acknowledges the weekly attendance issues. How long till Tony sends him to the doghouse? And then this guy goes, WWE trash, says, it's fake. I checked all his replies. And then I quoted, I'm like, every single one?
Yeah, he probably stalks them regularly.
Every single one of them, bro. So moving along, speaking of Samantha Irvin and that cringy wrestling stuff posts, it is unacceptable that last night on Raw, there was no video package saying goodbye to Samantha Irvin, even though Tessitore brought her up and said Lillian Garcia's taking her spot. But anyways, you failed, Triple H. I can't believe you didn't take a spot on the show to say goodbye to the best ring announcer of all time.
I like Samantha Irvin, but who cares? She's a ring announcer. You can find them like a dime a dozen.
They come and go.
Right.
They come and go.
And
Wrestling Mark 16 says, AEW have undone 6 years of WWE neglect with Shelton in a fortnight. Bro, he went to the limit with Sammy Guevara. So I don't know what you're talking about, man. That's pretty crazy to say like that. This guy says, do not click any of these links shared by Humble Wrestling. Many got their accounts hacked and lost money. They have been paying this guy to promote their crypto gambling betting apps. He doesn't care about his followers getting scammed. Be aware. So yeah, you see it like Humble Wrestling just be retweeting like all these random, clearly like bot the Pix Pro. Like it's like a bot scam gambling site, you know, because that's the new phishing hustle is you get people to click on your gambling site. We're the new hot upstart gambling, whatever. So yeah, guys, just bringing it to sickos. Look out for that Humble Wrestling guy. He be
like drug
scamming.
dealers, man. They give you that. They give you a little taste for free. Bet $5 and get $200 back, and spend all your money. First one's free. They get those kids, man.
Those things are always scams too, because when you hit and then you try to withdraw, they go, you can't withdraw like your any earnings won from the credits aren't eligible for what. Bro, it's always so slimy. Those betting sites are slimy unless you want to sponsor me. No, just kidding. But like, I use DraftKings and like there's certain sites I'll use and stuff like that. But Powerful King JJ says, notice how Tony had to mention Big Bang Theory in hopes to get a little bit of that lead-in boost. Even the cheerleader AR Gold knows it, LMAO. And Tony goes, it's less than 24 hours away, Dynamite. There are so many exciting things happening now in AEW. Don't miss Wednesday Night Dynamite right after the Big Bang Theory on TBS tomorrow night. It's great. And then AIR Gold goes, we love Sheldon Cooper. Well, they're getting another new spinoff. So here's MJ from NJ saying, this time try not to let him say more crazy conspiracies, like how he tried to say somebody pushed Owen Hart. So here's Pollock sitting here while Bixenspan tells him that someone pushed Owen Hart off the rafters, guys.
Clearly, but you look through the police report, they did talk to a fan who said they
saw. Oh, you look through the police report and you even talked to them. And there was a guy who came from behind him. Listen to this asshole. I'm so these people are gross, man.
Clearly, but you look through the police report, they did talk to a fan who said they saw someone push Owen Hart. So, like, on that night.
And Pollock's like, Jesus Christ, did he just you talk to the fans and they even say that they saw a guy push Owen Hart.
One crazy fan said that they saw like a shadow. Like, are you?
Yeah.
Bix is the worst of them all, dude. He really is.
God. Are there any good ones? I mean, outside of Bill Apter and maybe Mike Johnson, are there any good, like full-time wrestling people that you look at and go, all right? Most of these guys, like, they have an agenda. If they could, they would love to get hugs from Tony Khan.
And Alfred has a real journalism degree. Like, he actually has gone to school for it. Like, and
actually funny and actually knows how to write with punctuation.
He's actually talented, right? Yeah, he knows how grammar works. And throw in a period or a comma in there once in a while, Dave.
So our good friend Awful Wrestling, who's been tapping in a lot lately, he took some shots, man. The Death of WWE at Unbiased Rating. But then they created an awful parody. So I'm an unbiased guy, man. The unbiased rating guy is how he started his Twitter. But then Awful triggered him so bad that he literally made his own logo, like Death of Awful Wrestling with the WWE logo and the Death of WWE.
Wow.
And he goes, guys, I'm writing a book that will never get published. Death of WWE, the Titan who has felled not Alfred Kanua. And then Alfred, pardon me, Awful goes, this is flattering. Like if your baby niece drew a pic of you with a big happy blue head and 3 eyes skating on a tree, yet you admire it because she draws pictures with her toes. That kind of flattering. Yeah, dude. Oh, man. Yeah, this is a redacted, like if he took the time, he could have actually made this funny, And he used like the Becky Lynch glitch picture from the 2K game. That's funny, man. It's funny that Awful triggered this guy into like parodying him, But Awful's book will get published one way or another. Even if they don't ever die, he'll just publish on them or something. At least I'll try and convince him to, so don't worry. But AEW Neckbeard says, you used to like him. What changed? And so the real one goes, "Thank you, AEW, for barely putting Ethan Page on our screens." But then when he debuted, he's like, "Ethan Page is all elite." But again, real one is just trolling. He's watching TNA right now, fapping. Sam says, "NXT is genuinely unreal. The show featured 26 different women tonight. Triple H should take some notes, not going to lie." And literally on the screen, it says his name as one of the executive producers as they tweet this to him. Like, you guys see that? His name's right there. So I don't really know if he needs to take notes from anyone. So I just brought it to the show. I don't know. Shout you out. This ST Hole Leary guy, we've covered him before on the show. He goes, "Meltzer said today he thinks the huge rating MJF and Cole drew," this is in 2023, "for their collision match was the beginning of the end for Punk because it confirmed he was longer the biggest draw. No longer the biggest draw," is what this guy meant to say. "Punk thought he was Hollywood Hogan, but he wasn't him, brother." And yeah, you just fast forward now, and it's just funny. We talked about this tweet a long time ago, so I wanted to bring it up. This guy, WWE botched parody. He like disappeared. I guess he just got nuked. He nuked his accounts and everything. So this needs to be noted, right? This is botched parody's wife got a hold of his account and tweeted this out. This WWE botched guy, his wife got his account and tweeted this out on his account, right? And Counselor goes, she posted this to him, but it was deleted after that. So she goes, "You leave hundreds of replies on pro wrestling accounts and pro Democrat accounts every day, and 90% of them go ignored. Your humongous wife and 2 kids miss you. Try spending some time with them instead of being on here 20 hours a day." Oh, and we're just pointing out the sickos, folks. You know what I mean? If you think they're that sick, they're probably that sick. Moving along here. This guy says, WrestleMemia says, "WWE is always copying AEW, bruv. AEW is doing the best angle by recruiting Orange Cassidy to step up to the BCC, bruv. Just like Jimmy Uso is trying to recruit Jay, bruv. E-Drones can't admit Tony Khan's booking is the greatest, bruv." So they're just like obviously making fun, but yeah, I don't know. I've never seen anyone say that, but if that's real, that's hilarious. This Andy Gooner's like, if they really think that, I don't think this guy thinks that. I think he's just clowning. Here's another performance, guys. Here is Fozzy with Swerve Strickland. I think we played this one before. We watched this one before. Let's watch it one more time. Just a quick refresher. I find that so adorable. I was legitimately head bobbing the whole time.